What is up, Coach Emma here, and welcome back to the Fit Habit Life podcast, where we cut through the noise, talk real health and fitness, sustainable fat loss, and habits that actually work. And on today's episode, I will be debunking all of the quote-unquote health, fitness, longevity hacks that are so popular, it drives me off the walls. People are trying to biohack their way out of the basics without realizing that the only way these quote-unquote biohacks work is if you're already doing the basics. So, I'm passionate about this, guys. But before we jump in, I just wanted to thank you for listening. If you've been enjoying the show, if you've been learning from the show, if you could share the show, rate the show, and subscribe to the podcast, that just helps this information get in front of more people, which is the goal of this show, because as I've said, there is so much crap out there, so much. So let's spread the word so people stop getting scammed by marketing schemes. I have so many conversations with people. I'm in my own fitness bubble, because a lot of the people that I communicate with online are other coaches. And then I get outside of my bubble and outside of my coaching and outside of my friends, online friends, and I go out into the real world and I talk to people. And I'm like, people still think almonds are a protein source. Like, how? How? They are not. They're a fat source. They have a minimal amount of protein. Most people have no idea how much they're eating on a regular basis, and they go to a functional doctor and they're barely eating throughout the day. Well, that's why you have low energy, and that's great. You know why? Because your problem is not expensive. You don't need some special test. You don't need some special supplement stack. You don't need some crazy peptide. You just need to track your calories and see how much you're eating. If you've never in your life tracked your calories, do it. Please do it. Please. It is insane how big of a difference and how insightful it is when you start to pay attention to what you're eating on a regular basis. Like, seriously, for me, it was a game changer. It was. And not just tracking, but tracking properly, using a food scale. Because Coach Emma, thought 4 tablespoons of peanut butter was 1. Or maybe 2. Maybe 1.5. I would track it as 1.5 or 2. And I weigh it and I'm like, holy shit, this is almost 3 servings of peanut butter. It's 2.5 servings. It's 500 plus calories of peanut butter. And it's not that much. It's really sad when you realize that. So anyway, if you're not focusing on sleep, if you're not tracking your calories, if you're not strength training, lifting weights at least once a week, for body composition changes, you will need more. But for overall health and longevity, once a week is totally plenty. If you're not coping with stress appropriately, you don't have a healthy coping mechanism, that's a problem. Journal, meditate, pray, go on walks without tech. That's my favorite personally. If you're not drinking enough water, I'm trying to think. I feel like there was something else I'm missing that I talk about all the time. Sleep, stress, hydration, nutrition, training, movement. If you're not walking throughout the day, you're not getting close to 7,000 plus steps a day, that's also a problem. If you're drinking a lot of alcohol, that is a problem. By a lot is relative, that's true. I will say if you're drinking every day, even if it's 1 glass, that's too much. Once or twice a week, 1 to 2 drinks, if you're not trying to change your body composition, is okay. It's not good for you. I like beer. I'm not a hater. I'm just saying, realistically, it's just not good for you. If you're doing that, but you're trying to use red light therapy to help your resiliency and testosterone levels, or you're getting a NAD IV every week, or you're injecting yourself with Lord knows what type of peptide, but you're not doing those things, the peptide's not going to work right, because the peptide tells your body to do something and then your body does the thing. But if your body doesn't have the tools or material or isn't healthy enough to do the thing properly or well, then it's kind of like pissing money down the drain. There's a lot of peptides, and I'm not a doctor, so I don't want to dig into them. I've talked about GLP-1s, but you get the gist. If you're wearing a weighted vest, just stop. Lifting weights and walking will build all the bone density that you need, and usually the people wearing the weighted vests aren't paying attention to their nutrition, which would move the needle the most. I'm trying to think what other trends, just like I talk about with like stealth infections and mold toxicity and low hormone levels or gut health issues. You will have a lot of problems if you're not doing the basics. So don't waste your money on fancy testing. Don't waste your money on little things that barely move the needle and that won't work really well if you're not doing the basics. I forgot supplements. Always pushed. It's a great, quote unquote, great industry for people who want to make money. Here, take this pill. You'll lose 10 pounds in 10 weeks. This pill will naturally raise your testosterone levels. This pill is a magical peptide that will stimulate your body's natural GLP-1 production. I don't know, I'm making stuff up at this point. I use supplements to cover my bases. I take a micronutrient, a multivitamin with micros, right? Getting my micros. I take vitamin D. I take magnesium because I'm type A stress case. I take creatine. And right now I have not been supplementing with an omega-3, which I probably should, but I just haven't. So, but I train consistently. I never miss training. It's very rare. Actually, last week, I did miss my lower body training session because I could not stay awake because of the damn mold protocol. It would have been really dangerous. I was not comfortable driving. Like, that's where I was at. The Emma that was recording the podcast last week, she was the fatigued, moldy Emma. I guess I'm technically still moldy, but anyway. I do not miss my training sessions. I looked at the past year, my average step count for every month this year has been close to 11,000 or above. February, it was like 10,400. The only reason I remember is I just looked, and I'm a numbers person. I used to be a software engineer. Anyway, I consistently stay active and get my step count. I consistently cook most of my meals at home. I've been more lenient than I have in the past because, as I said, I'm not trying to change my body composition right now. I'm trying to be more present in life. My gut is fairly resilient despite the moldiness. So I went out with a friend on Monday night before I signed up for the Ragnar. Actually, it was at the same time. I signed up for it at the same time. I had sweet potato fries and some type of steak sandwich with fry sauce and cheese. So anyway, my stomach was not enjoying that. It doesn't like fried food, which is a problem because a lot of Americans love fried food. A lot of people love fried food, and it wrecks their gut, and they eat it all the time. If you're regularly eating fried food, that is a problem. You do not need some biohacking thing, and the biohacking fancy thing is not going to do much. Cold plunging. Trying to think of other stuff. Yeah. Basically, as I always say, dial in the basics. Really. Dial in those basics. Get good quality sleep. Cook most of your meals at home. Manage your stress as best as you can. train, walk, do those things, and I guarantee any problems that you feel or have or that you feel need resolving, track your calories. They will get resolved. You will start to feel better. You will have improvements in all of the things. And if you don't, that is when functional testing is worth it. That is when reaching out to a health professional who helps people with weird situations, like a functional health coach or a functional doctor, someone who can read labs and really dig in and try to find the root cause of whatever is affecting your body composition, your energy levels, and your performance, and all the things, your gut health. That's when it's worth it. I would still do that before biohacking and trying some stupid trend online, because those things, one, depending on the health issue you have, could make it worse. Like for me, cold plunging tends to not really make me feel very good because I'm just overly stressed in general. And so having like high levels of cold exposure usually makes me feel quite a bit worse. And I also don't want to blunt my body's natural inflammation signals. I was going to say inflammation signaling, because our body gets inflamed for a reason. Your body is like, after you train, the scale will be up the next day because your body is inflamed because it's trying to shuttle nutrients to that muscle tissue. So that's why like a lot of these things, yes, it like cold plunge reduces inflammation. Omega-3s reduce inflammation. They're actually really good for you. I highly recommend you supplement with those. But why are you inflamed all the time? You don't need a biohack. Again, most of the clients I work with, I've had a handful of clients where they had a severe issue that was an underlying root cause issue contributing to their problems. Most of my clients, they're just not doing the basics consistently enough. And sometimes some of the issues are work. I have some clients, they're overworked. They're working way too much. They commute to work. They're overly stressed with their work. And they have to do their work because they need it to survive. And that environment that they're working in is not conducive or healthy for their overall physiological or mental health. And it is really a bummer. I wish I could tell somebody to find a new job, but then in this damn job market, it's terrible. I have friends getting laid off. It's hard to find a job. I know somebody who's been looking for a job for a year. Like, that's crazy. So sometimes that's part of the stress management. It's relationships, it's work. Are there ways you can set boundaries? This is something people don't talk about a lot either. It's like you can't biohack your way out of a bad work environment. You can't biohack your way to a better body composition if you don't lift weights. You can't biohack your way to a less overweight body if you're not tracking your calories. So that's where there are some values in a lot of the things that are being promoted. But you also have to think, like, who's promoting this thing? What are they getting out of promoting this thing? Where are they in their stage of fitness compared to me? And does it make sense for me? Or is it just something that has been really valuable to them? And think about that. Like for me right now, I signed up for a trail running race and I haven't ran in trails in like well over 3 years. I would never recommend somebody do that. Never. Unless you're a runner and you run all the time and you just love doing it and it sounds fun. I am a very fit individual. I am not the runner I used to be. I was also 20 pounds lighter and I haven't really ran a lot. But my body is very strong and capable, physically capable of doing that. A lot of my clients, that would be way too much for them. That's where the nuance and the coaching and all of that stuff really matters, because what I'm doing makes sense for me. And like there's some podcasts where The people doing the podcast are super fit. So for them, using peptides, yeah, it is that little extra bump, a little extra juice. But they've been super consistent with the basics for decades. So for them, they can't really get any more out of it. How much more muscle can you build if you've been lifting for 20, 30 plus years? Not much. Unless you're on anabolics or maybe you leverage some type of peptide. So for them, for those like fitness professionals, like it makes a lot of sense that they would leverage a lot of biohacking stuff because they might actually get something out of it. And because for them, they have the extra income. They have the extra time. They don't have to figure out the consistency aspect or how to fit the training and other stuff and the nutrition and the tracking and the food choices and the home-cooked meals into their life because they've been doing it for decades. So that's not even a thought. It's not even a forefront for them. Like, honestly, I rarely meal prep ever. I work from home. I have a kitchen right there. I eat the same stuff on repeat and I might mix it up a little bit, partly because I track, but partly because I've been doing it for so long. I just naturally buy the same stuff over and over and over again to where it's just kind of a system and a routine that works for me and my husband. And I think I could probably optimize it and make it better and more efficient. But right now it works and it's fine. So I could probably experiment with peptides, but I have no desire to, right? So, but for me, like it might give me a little bit of a leg up. I've been doing the basics for, I'm not going to say 10 plus years. I've been exercising since I was a kid. So probably for 20 plus years, I've been physically active. I've probably been asleep since college. I was 21, 7 years. I've been consistently doing my sleep routine. I'm a 5 a.m. wake time, 9 to 10 p.m. sleep time for 6 years. 7 years. Damn. 7 years. Stress management is a new thing for me. I used to not do that. So that's something I have to constantly work at. Nutrition, 7 plus years. So like for me, right? That's where when my husband and I were having issues, we knew it was something else and we went to that next step. But we didn't do biohacking stuff at all. We didn't buy peptides. We didn't do IVs. We leverage supplements for protocols, but we don't take all these fancy supplements for these little tiny minutia that don't do hardly anything. Like, oh, take this anti-inflammatory supplement. It's like, why? Our bodies should be able to handle that naturally, and if it's not, there's something else going on, and it's usually the basics. Anyway, I feel like I've drilled in my point. I don't want to talk about this for another 20 minutes. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful. My point with this is before looking to some marketing thing, think about who's marketing this thing. What are they getting out of it? Where are they compared to myself? And am I doing the basics consistently enough to where this biohacking thing would even work or help me in any way? Probably not. But if so, cool. Have fun. Experiment. Totally within your right. And even if you want to, and you're not doing the basics, that's also totally fine. Enjoy it. Experiment with it. Have fun. I just want to be direct. Like, you don't need to do those things, and they probably won't work very well if you're not doing the other things. So, that is all. But anyway, if you need help dialing in those basics or figuring out what actually is going on or figuring out the next right best step for you to be more consistent, to address whatever is going on, to help improve your body composition, performance, energy levels, and gut health, please reach out. I'd be more than happy to help. And if this was helpful enough for you, awesome. Go implement the stuff and let me know how it goes. But anyway, thank you for listening. And I don't remember if I said this because it's just one of those days. if you've enjoyed this episode, if you could share the show, rate the show, or subscribe to the podcast, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.